on the stage. We're kicking it off on Anubis, and FURIA going fast into mid.
Yeah, he said it was brawling, and immediately out the gate, you've got FURIA taking a lot of space in towards middle. And once you secure the middle of the map here on Anubis, it's really uncomfortable for 9Pandas because the rotations are so far. Victoria, though, will still find the opening kill, but Gab's overwhelmed.
Yeah, Shu moves forward in towards main. Look at the support. 3 players coming through canals, and they know Shu is here. But Shu, she's locking him out. A double kill with the dualies. Gabby has to step up. She's in an uncomfortable position now, wedged out. The bomb is also stuck, so despite all that ground you got early, well, it's gone. Taddy makes sure of it. And Gabby was meant to be the closer, the player just sitting back lurking, and now she's the one that has to clutch it out. They've got her locked in every single angle. The swing comes through. She finds the kill. Can't reset, though. Fatal there with the killing blow.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate for FURIA because the most common reaction on this A bomb site, once you lose space in towards cams, is to push in towards A main. Try and cut the split off at the ankles. It doesn't quite work out that way. Instead, FURIA give the bomb to 9Pandas on a silver platter. FURIA, they could have planted there. They could have made things uncomfy.
Yeah, I think they just really wanted to ensure they had that control, right? Because they had Gabby in place as well. But I think when you've got Gabby there and there's a player in main, you don't need to deal with it because
agreed.
Gabby can sort that later.
Yeah. And now you don't have a bomb plant. That means that your decision of force bind is already made for you. Victoria finds the opening kill on the FAMAS. Glocks here. They want to charge middle again.
Okay, it's going to be a bit quicker. I wanted to take this moment to talk a bit about this new FURIA, but okay, they're going to get cleaned up and then I can go into the... Okay, all right, Victoria, make sure you get this one. All right, everything's good. So if you've seen FURIA before, obviously you're very familiar with the old look FURIA. They're in every single finals until Qatar, where they fell off, but it was always, the same kind of 5 players. It was a bit of a switch with Marion Bocker in there for a moment, but now we've got 2 new players in the server that haven't played on LAN with this team before, right? We've got Gabs and annaEX coming into the fold. annaEX has been in the scene for the longest time in South America, in and out of a lot of top teams, most recently Black Dragons. And Gabs returning to the fold, a player that played with this team back in like 2021, and she's returned, filling in the spaces that have been left by the players that have departed.
Just going to focus in on the round right now, because what's really cool is that FURIA have thrown these smokes off Sport, one in towards Dark, one in towards CT, trying to indicate to 9Pandas, hey, we're going to go for a faster B play. That isn't the answer. Instead, it looks to be A, but a well-timed piece of utility for 9Pandas keeps FURIA at bay.
It's crazy that mid has been completely neglected in this round. Both teams are going with the gamble that no one's going mid. And that's exactly what's happening.
Yeah, they've got the intel now, 9Pandas as well. There's going to be a quick flank. It all stems from how much Gabby can find, and she finds both.
Yeah, Gabby, the player to be watching in my eyes. She has been doing really well as of late. Her and Izza have the ones that have been stepping up in August departure. Victoria, though, that's a big kill. Gives something back here, a 3v3 bomb to be planted.
Interestingly enough, 9Pandas Fearless, they don't have that player lurking in A main. Instead, they retreat. They all want to crunch from Heaven and Camera.
Yeah, this is a difficult position to retake from. They do have the kit. They've got a couple of bits of utility they can use. They're fighting forward. Actually, they've been given the space. No one playing in towards Heaven. Closest is annaEX in towards the ramp, and they're going to flash on through, trying to find her. She's walked through bricks, though. Double from annaEX. And there's Carter close through the smoke. FURIA, the guns come out and they go hot.
Yeah, really impressed with FURIA there. The timing of going for these plays works out perfectly because you know that 9Pandas, off the back of not seeing anyone progress with those smokes, are going to look for info. That's when they decide to strike A. The fact that Gabby finds the double opener here is perfect because that creates so much room for FURIA to work with. The lurk smoke does wonders, and annaEX excels in the afterplan.
Yeah, so cool from her taking that space there. Great addition to this team. See what it's done to the Pandas. Despite winning those opening 2 rounds, they're now back onto the pistols, and FURIA get this T side rolling. Now they go towards mid. There is a bit of a stack here. 3 players tucked on through, but flashbang is fantastic and eventually dealt with.
Yeah, it's all fine. Tati will give it a go, but ultimately it's just pistols. Chu has walked forward, but now spotted by Gabby. And that's clean. 5 players stay alive, exactly what FURIA needed.
Yeah, I think the other piece that I think has been interesting with this FURIA team that I want to mention on the Des did note her is Car, right? I feel like in the past hasn't kind of been the star element of FURIA. You know, it was always kind of Olga and Gabby alongside her as the main elements we talk about, Car being a bit more supportive. I will say, these last 6 months or so, Car has been having a much stronger presence in the server.
I think it's a structure change as well, because when FURIA put Car on the AWP, they really made everything about her be that sniper, and that's not where she excels. She's more of that hybrid player that the desk mentioned, and it's really good to see that she's now got that within her game style. She can rely on the rifle a lot more, and that benefits you so much more in CS2.
A player that will prioritize the AWP though, Victoria, right? Okay, she's strong AWPer, very good in the clutch, but can, you know, we've seen her struggle on LAN a few times.
It also feels like she has an over-reliance on this weapon and something you can't always bring out. That's what we've been mentioning. That's the theme, all best of one long. Shoes stepping up, looking at the pixel gap, trying to hold. Instead, will jump up, but will catch the grenades as a result.
Yeah, nice HEs onto that position. Fatal's burning as well, but Shu does find the gap to swing on through, able to get 2 in there. I don't know how she manages the double. The still found that lurk. Gabs found Elizabeth. Car going for the plant, and oh, Fatal doesn't extend. There was maybe a bit of a timing there where she could have come through. Smoke for Victoria, but she's just going to push on in front of it, and she can't quite find Car. Just edges around Cake, but eventually Victoria goes hunting, and she takes 2 names. Gabs up on the pillar. Smoke comes forward, sorry, Flash, and she's in front of it. She's hiding. Oh, she doesn't shoot. She does. She waits. Oh, Gabs. That is brutal.
That's really well played from Gabs. You can see the AWP posted on A main. Not going to be in your field of vision, so she can wait. She can guarantee the kill. And that is exactly what FURIA were after. What a round from Gabs, because it looks like it's all falling apart. You see the Victoria sees the utility thrown out by Gabby, locks in the position, and then Gabs just gives it right back to 9Pandas.
That's that experience on display. A veteran rejoining the squad. Again, 9Pandas economy in the bin. They've gone for a B stack, and FURIA are looking like they actually want to test this side, somewhere they haven't been yet.
That's so uncharacteristic of the FURIA of old as well. Like that discipline, the heads-up approach, just to make sure you're guaranteeing the round, you're not prematurely taking that kill. You've got extra seconds to work with. I've even been just in awe the way that FURIA, when they're executing onto these bomb sites a lot in the round, they're actually waiting for the additional element. They're waiting for 9Pandas to push on the other side of the map, because they've already been showing that they've been given over this information early. And here, this time bleeded with utility. A lot of discipline.
Dark player falls, so you have to get rid of this stack that's in play, the boost up, and everyone's finding their shots. Victoria does get 1 through the smoke, but that's the only fatality, as Gabby ensures Shu can't get too much done. 4-2, great start for FURIA.
I really want to see 9Pandas fearless contest middle, because I feel like you understand that Gabby is out a lot towards rugs, so you can't ever push A main unless you deliberately clear that angle, but then you'd need a flash, you'd need a commitment of a Molotov, maybe even a nade on towards the stairs. If you go middle, you take that space away from FURIA, that makes your rotations way faster to a bomb site as well. It allows you to be a lot more reactive to the situations, and I feel like that's the area of success that 9Pandas Fearless can occupy.
I think we've talked a lot about the individuals on FURIA, both here and on the desk, but I do want to highlight a couple of players on 9Pandas, which keep an eye on. Obviously, we've talked about Victoria, but Fatal is the one in my eyes. Her and Shu, that kind of combo when it comes to LAN, but I feel like Fatal in particular really thrives in this environment. I think she's maybe the highest rated LAN player, her and Victoria alongside her, and she's the one that I kind of look at to sort of lift this team up a bit.
She was struggling a little bit with the adaptation into CS2, but in the last couple of weeks has really came into her own element. And if we see that Fatal, then that's a problem for a lot of teams here in the server. This one's a little bit more disciplined from FURIA, taking the time to, once again, lead with utility, get themselves into positions that they can pounce.
Yeah, for 9Pandas, it's a bit more of a default setup, right? We've got 2-on-2, we've got that AWP bait and switch setup over towards A main if they go back there, which they have been going a lot. This is looking like a B split written all over it. 2 players out main, 2 dark, and then you've got the lurk waiting for a push that which will come from A.
Yeah. As long as Gabby just tucks in behind this box and doesn't peek, right, that's how the setup will not get kind of broken here. I think you even lead the AWP, you let Carl work, but Gabby pushes, and that hurts.
Carl still finds the kill into Elizabeth, though, and Taddy falls. A very difficult position to fight from. Bomb will be planted. 5v3, 9 Pandas. Feel that they're desperate for a round, but 3v4, you've just got these guns out. You got an orb. Oh, no, you don't.
No, you don't. Should have been saving from the start. I feel like you can approach that round multiple different ways if you're FURIA. The reason why you could argue that Gabby pushes there is to keep the players locked in on the bomb site for an extra couple of seconds, which will then facilitate FURIA to activate on B. That's exactly what happens. You could even argue that she does play the lurk role, and it's fine because 9 Pandas Phyllis have been pushing. It works, the most important thing. But as soon as you lose these players in the bomb site, you haven't got coverage of your 9 Pandas Phyllis. You've not got a sight line onto where these players can be. You don't know if they're deep progressing towards CT. You save this. And I really like the fact that Izza is hunting this, because you remove the AWP, you remove a key component of the defense. Shu holds on. So at least that can be given back to Victoria.
Yeah, it's interesting, right, how that B site falls apart, because you've got those 2 players on A. You can see the issue there is your B setup feels a little weaker, right? They don't take the dark control. Car's just able to walk into dark and find Elizabeth
and
with an AWP.
What's good with that is the way that FURIA set themselves up, because you could have the AWP be in the supportive element. Instead, it's the space taker, it's the contact breaker, if you will. And then you've got the rifles that can quickly swarm in amongst the bomb site, fan out between B main and dark. So I like the way they approach that round. Victoria immediately removes Car, AWP placed back in her hands as she's causing damage.
Great kill to find. Not an uncommon position to peek with the AWP, but the T's normally get the better timing there. annaEX just disrupted that smoke.
That would have been heard. That would have been bounced, and surely 9 Pandas are aware.
Oh, Fatal just goes for the info. Set up by a flash, but it didn't quite connect. annaEX able to dodge it. Now you're back into a 4-on-4. Taddy wants to fight. Oh, splashes herself in and finds the kill. That is huge.
And now you've got the push out from B as well, but it might not matter because you're neglecting A main. Gabby, though, can't find a kill. It's a lot of damage, and it helps facilitate the mid play. Fortunately enough, annaEX runs in and mows them down.
She just finds both those kills. Just wide swings with the bomb as well. And now Gabs, she's just here in the open. You're not expecting her in camera, but Elizabeth able to adjust. Another 1v2 needed from FURIA. This time it's annaEX in that position. She gets the horde, gets ahead of it. Give it another opportunity, but now they know where she is. Swinging. Oh, 1 by 1. Maybe there's a chance there, but no, Elizabeth able to find the kill.
I'll tell you what, though, fair play for 9 Pandas for getting that round back, but it feels really disjointed. It doesn't feel like the 9 Pandas that we're used to seeing. Taking a little bit of time to warm up, maybe similarly to Enigma Galaxy. Newt made a very good point in Stat It Out about the fact that these trades are there. That was not good trade spacing.
Well, you don't need a trade if you just get the kill, Brandon.
That's not the philosophy you should be living by.
It's a winner's mindset.
No, it's not.
I'm going to get the kill no matter what. This is great from annaEX. She just charged to immediately gets that trade, and then the second kill as well. Good HE onto Car, playing a pretty common place to peek with the AWP. Almost gets an opportunity, and Izza finds Elizabeth just spamming through the smoke. That one's always frustrating as the dark player.
I like this as well, because the incendiary there is to catch any players that want to go back in towards dark or come out from dark from that initial contact. So that completely denies a lot of room in towards canals. Victoria is going to start walking, trying to get that space back. But FURIA, they're going to go round to the right-hand side. No one will see them.
Information just gathered in mid. There's a flash forward for Fatal to peek, and she doesn't see anything. They have to get this rotation through. You need to adapt to the fact that you haven't seen anything. Yeah. Only one player in the site. Shu has got a smoke. I'd love to see her deploy this just to slow them down and get more players in position.
It will come over, but at the same time, Victoria is overextended and Car takes her life. Now utility can be set up. A well-timed incendiary. It looks like Fatal wants to play close to the smoke, but FURIA can drop the utility and move away.
Yeah, it's exactly what they're doing, right? You've just seen a smoke and an incendiary come out over towards A. You're feeling like, well, there might be 2 players here. You've just found that kill in towards Dark, and you're straight in.
I feel like the biggest difference that we're seeing from FURIA compared to 9 Pandas Fearless is FURIA are reacting to a lot of what's going on in real time. 9 Pandas Fearless, they are going about their structure correctly. They're taking the space that needs to be taken, but they're not really reacting based off the information. It's a classic case of, wow, you've got the space, now what are you doing with it?
But a great game for FURIA, and
Yep.
I think this is also part of why I've been so impressed by Izza, not just with her individual level. I think she's the highest rated player on the team this season. Not only that, stepping up and fragging and all the rest, but she's calling as well.
Yep.
In a new style with new players that you've brought in. It's really impressive what she's done with this team.
Yeah, this style of Counter-Strike as well, it's very much kind of the European way.
Yes.
Just leading with utility a lot, and then you get your riflers in really advanced aggressive positions, and then that's where you set them up to shine. And it's really cool to see that we've kind of got these players hunting in packs to take the space. There's that spam kill. Didn't even look like it was on, but regardless, I'm impressed. And the mid-rounding is definitely going to be the key factor that determines the victor between these two teams, especially in a best-of-1 scenario. The fact that FURIA are already making a lot of headway on their T side of Anubis is a very good watch.
I think the thing, despite this really strong start from FURIA, I think the kind of narrative we have around 9Pandas is that you can't put them away, right?
Yeah.
No matter what the position they find themselves in, they are very good at coming back into games, edging out advantages later on. But obviously, if you put yourself on the back foot too far, you might just fall over.
Counterpoint to that is obviously we do see them in CS2 a little bit, but now you've got kind of less leverage with the amount of rounds that have now been depleted off the clock. So if you get off to a slow start, suddenly every round is incredibly important. This looks like a 7th potentially. Fast, pushing in, Tati. Doesn't get the best of Gabs, but fortunately enough, there's an immediate trade, but FURIA want to press the issue.
Yeah, there's going to be some support here. 2 CTs want to keep fighting. Elizabeth lucky to get away. Stays the 4v4. FURIA immediately starting to move some pieces around the map.
A good mid-rounding as well, because immediately, look, you know that you've got 1 player, 2 players of flash pushing B. A's going to be vulnerable. If you're Gabby, I'd be walking here. I'd just be taking all this space. The flash announces your presence. So that means the mid player's going to come and try and deal with it.
Yeah, she was waiting for that rotation to come over, right? She could have walked in much earlier, but afraid to give up the advantage, and, well, now Fatal finds it.
And that can be a fatal flaw as well. If you're a player that doesn't want to kind of take risks and be the player that costs your team maybe the advantage, ultimately you're sacrificing your opportunity of space. And that can be more harm than good at times.
All split up at the moment, seeing if they can find something. Car on a solo mission in towards Dark has actually walked in. And Elizabeth is very low, but against the AWP, Car actually has a bit of a difficult fight here. And yeah, would have liked to have seen Izza maybe leading with that once she's got their space in. Elizabeth is tucked back here. She is very low. You'd love one single piece of utility to find her, but Elizabeth just doesn't need to extend. Can just tuck in close. Izza does eventually find the kill, and they're dancing around, drawing her fire over, and Fatal can find the killing blow.
Yeah, really well done there. Just by tucking in the corner, just by, you know that FURIA understand that you're in that corner, and if they flush out utility, fantastic. But if they don't, then you can just sit, you can burn down the clock, you can waste so much time. I really don't agree with Car trying to take the space on her own with the sniper. That just felt a little bit headstrong. It feels like we've got hesitation on one side of the map and then a bit of recklessness on the other.
Yeah, it reminded me a lot of times that K&A was taking the aggressive control on FlyQuest with the off, right? But I think in that situation, Izza was coming around through main at the same time, right? So you can just pause. There was plenty of time for it. This is where Pandas start to build their way back into it.
It was an important round as well for 9Pandas to win because they went all in. Their economy was on breaking point. If FURIA win that round, suddenly they're set up for an 8-4 half. Instead, it could be 6-6. I wonder what the reaction is here from FURIA, right? I mean,
I wouldn't mind something pacey, right?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, something a bit more to the FURIA of old, where all these rounds so far have been so structured, so disciplined, all about the mid-round and all of that, but very little kind of out the gate. So maybe that's the change-up that they could bring through. They've already shown that they can get into A.
Yeah.
You try and test that early. Maybe you can find a pathway through.
Or you could go for the round that you tried previously in your first gun round where you drop the smokes early towards B and then you execute A. If you did that a little bit faster, then potentially that could work. Or you could even go with the smokes on towards B because 9Pandas already seen that as kind of a fake. So maybe they don't react. Maybe they don't react kind of as quick as they would normally do.
Yeah, we're seeing them being quite responsive and we're in the rotations when they do see that kind of utility coming through. So you can definitely use that to your advantage in the way that you kind of just illustrated. Back into the action. 2 rounds separating them. Guns out for everybody. And we do have a lot of players over towards A early, so maybe this pace is coming through. Flashbangs to be set up. Victoria is here with the AWP. Flashed off the angle. Gonna fire it off though and actually reposition. Follow-up flash comes through. A timing shot doesn't connect. Good utility to take the space back, and Victoria wants to keep fighting. No amount of flashes will deter her.
Yeah, this is good as well for 9Pandas Fearless, because the fact that Victoria is still on this angle and confirms intel, it means that other pieces can go looking for intel. Fatal pushes, gets rid of Gabby. And yet again, we're seeing the same style out of FURIA. Carr leading with the AWP in towards Dark. Again, Elizabeth behind this pillar. Molly this time goes into that position, but no one's home.
Yeah, great Molly. Entry doesn't quite connect, and Elizabeth behind the pillar does get one. Is there for the immediate response. They need another smoke though. Victoria's just here with the AWP. Carr finds the solution. Sniper of her own. Still a 2 versus 3 though. Gabs playing around this smoke, but oh, another one lands. That's huge. That gives Gabs a whole wall she can work with. Carr's AWP in Dark is completely uncontested from behind. She can just focus on this one avenue, but Taddy just walks on through, finds Gabs, and Carr misses the first shot. They can just overwhelm now. In fact, the smoke in her face to make things even more difficult.
Yeah, unfortunate there for FURIA, but really good discipline out of 9Pandas Fearless to understand that where they're re-smoking that area, there probably is another player. They just contact through, and they go fast about it as well, because they understand that Carr is alive. She'll be an AWPer on these angles. Once you find that AWPer, you isolate her, you can just drop all the utility in the world that you want. Another clean retake. That's been pretty good, to be fair, out of 9Pandas for this. Her retakes have been pretty decent.
Yeah, I wonder what happened with Gabs there, because I feel like she had a really powerful angle behind that smoke, but I guess Taddy just might have caught that timing as she jumped through. Walkout fatal. First one was seen this event. Oh, great utility early. That was almost an incredible timing shot.
Oh, good nade though. That's a lot of damage. But FURIA, with the pace that they're here, I'm not sure if 9Pandas are ready for it, and no, they're not. Carr finds Victoria, and Carr finds another fatal caught with nades.
Yeah, just jumping straight into her crosshair, and she'll take that every day of the week. Split onto A. Not a great position for Shu. Tucked in behind the cake, and she's got a lot of players coming at her. Can't quite find that first kill, but Taddy does get one back. She can get another, maybe there's a well, but no, leaves it all onto Elizabeth. 1 versus 4, we have seen one today, but FURIA not a team to stumble in these moments.
Yeah, blowing the smoke off, but it's Izza that locks it in. It's FURIA with 7 as the half draws to a close.
I'm on the road, I'm fine. In this moment we collide. It took some time, but now the hardest part is done. Look, I made it, I survived. You got the best of me, and I feel it coming right now. Baby, 'cause I believe that we're just getting started. When I choose to be alive, when you go left, I go right. I do it on my own, I trust. If there's a vibe on a mountain, pick so high. You got the best of me, and I feel it coming right now. Baby, because I believe that we're just getting started. So just don't turn it off, 'cause I didn't go through it all just for nothing. I will always be the one who built it from the ground, 'cause I've never been the one who keep it in my mind. You got a billion dreams, so don't you give it up. I know this is good for your soul, but never stop, never stop. You got a billion dreams, so don't you give it up. I know this is good for your soul, but never stop, never stop. So if you ever feel that you'll be on the low, hold on, you'll be alright. So if you ever feel that you'll be on the low, hold on, you'll be alright. 'Cause I've never been the one.
A new look FURIA bringing a new style of play here in CS2, and it's working out well for them. 7-5 at the half.
Yeah, been really impressed with what they've been providing, but also give a lot of credit to 9Pandas Fearless because they're able to still go toe-to-toe with them. They're able to adjust to what's going on, and they've given themselves a foundation to work with, and they now head onto this T side. And remember, Anubis is the most T-sided map we've got in CS2.
That is true. Car, okay, all right. Car with two incredible one-taps, already deleting them. Victoria might have got a bit of space, but look how many players are in towards Dark. Lights out onto one, and Taddy finding kills as well. Car needs to back on up. They're taking the fight to them. 2 versus 5, made into a 2-on-3. They want more. Car, though, she is unstoppable with an incredible pistol.
Yeah, you think the AWP's got to be good with pistols, and Carr certainly shows us that. Big moments for big players here in Valencia, and Carr shows us another showcase of it. Really important pistol round to win if you're FURIA. You take the sting right out of 9Pandas Fearless early.
That first shot is that was beautiful. Just mid-air. Incredible stuff from Carr. And that's, well, pistol round massive. No bomb plant, but a force.
Okay.
That's crazy.
Yeah, this is going to be pacey. And it's going to be immediate in towards B. Utility's going to be lined up. 9Pandas Fearless are going to run in.
All right, let's see what they can do. Double Dark. Bit of a crazy setup. Means retake on the cards. And, oh, shoot, gets the kill there. But annaEX doubling up. And she might have done enough. Rotations can now come on over. Bomb still to be planted. No, they fight their way through. They deal with Anna. And now it's a 3 versus 3.
Fake out on the bomb as well. Draws out more utility. All right, 9Pandas, we see you. Bomb will now get stuck. Victoria wants to fight, but this entire time, the smokes, they are fading. It's around the corner. She finds the first, but immediate trades out of both. Leaves it into a 1 versus 1. Carr versus Elizabeth.
Should surely know where Elizabeth is as well. Smoke dropped, hoping that Elizabeth will walk on forward, but no bomb tap means there's no incentive to peek. She does have time, though, with that kit. Needs to swing around this corner, needs to find this kill, and Elizabeth wins it out. The force buy without a bomb plant working out.
I really like the way that 9Pandas approach that, and it's the pieces of utility that they throw. It's the double layering of the flashbangs in towards the entrance of Dark. And what that does is it blinds the players looking in towards B main, forces them to the other end of Dark, and that's where the SMG struck. It was all by design.
Really cool round that I didn't expect to come through. Forcing on the T side when you lose the pistol is really, really unusual.
Audacious.
Audacious, yeah.
But I tell you what, you're taking the fight to FURIA, right? You're buying, you're setting the pace. You are the players taking the initiative. Cool mousepad.
Yeah, that's wild. Very cool. And this also now puts FURIA in a position, right, where you force, right? It came down to a 1v1. You know that, you know, if you can win this one back, it'll completely reset them. But if then they lose this force, it goes the other way, right? It's something we're tied up and got a game in our hands.
This is a very interesting economic decision that's about to be made. Do you expect with the first stage loss bonus that FURIA will go for it? Also, that, as you mentioned, the fact that it was a 1 versus 1, but 9 Pandas are actually keeping the game scrappy. And I thought it would be the other way around. I thought it would be 9 Pandas trying to come in with the structure, trying to kind of discipline FURIA and be like, okay, this is how we like to play. And FURIA are actually kind of the other end. They're more the they're just kind of trying to set the tone, and it's 9 Pandas trying to organize the chaos.
Yeah, it's a reversal of past
Yes.
matchups that we've had, because we've had these two teams fight a few times before, and in fact, they've always been very close games, right? There was the best of 3 that FURIA won last time. There was the overtime affair, I think, in their best of 1 opener at, it was like this time last year, it might have been, I think. So yeah, plenty of history between these two teams, obviously with slightly different elements now for FURIA, but it's really interesting how that role reversal has come through in the approach to the game.
It was Olga that was one of the highest rated players as well for FURIA in that 16-14 Anubis win over 9 Pandas Fearless last year.
There was a crazy clutch at the end of that, if I remember. Was
Yeah.
it Gabs?
Yeah.
Gabby, sorry.
Yeah, sounds right.
I remember that. In towards the canals.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was 9 Pandas
1v3,
Fearless.
I think.
They're on CT side, and they had the bomb, they had everything, but they gave up the 1 versus 1s.
Yeah.
How times have changed, and how interesting it is to look at the development of both of these teams, because it's FURIA that obviously had to take that step back, weren't here for Season 3 finals. It was 9 Pandas Fearless that consistently get to these LAN events and consistently try and prove themselves, and they're a team that you can never write off, and again, they're showing it here.
Yeah, here's that full spike. Carl keeps a little bit of extra cash for the future AWP that, oh, Anna really wants to get aggressive. Flashbang forward, but Elizabeth sitting back with Fatal. They're ready for it.
Yeah, I was going to say, you mentioned they're ready for it in middle. They're ready for the aggression anywhere on the map. However, Gabby will find one, but that will be the only casualty. But you take a look at the design of that round for 9 Pandas Fearless. They know they've got the superior weaponry. They know that they can play the long-range engagement, something that really favors a T side on Anubis. And that's why Orphan is so popular. There's so many different directions you can take the sniper because of the long ranges on the gunfights.
Now we're going to find ourselves 8-8, right? It's going to be the full eco for FURIA because they forced into that. Didn't look like a force, but
True. Just
the way that 9 Pandas were ready for the aggression that would come out. So we're going to have another very close game here. All these games today have just been absolute delights to watch.
I really have been loving it. Shu might get caught off here, but there's no flashbang, so this hit is going to be pure contact. Splash in the water. Not sure how much information that gives over. This molly is fantastic, though. That is going to prevent FURIA, or it's going to send them right through the flames. Shu overwhelmed.
Yeah, don't want to make this too expensive. Get out of there with the bomb.
Smart from Victoria, you're right. Just immediately not fighting, grabbing the bomb. Let's make this a safe round.
They're going to get here quickly, though. All 5 FURIA players can charge on out. annaEX with the Mac 10 needs to reload it. But so many players can now overwhelm from dark. Everybody is here. Gabs finds one with the USP. And now they're starting to deal with it. 2 players are low, though. Oh, suddenly there's a world. Car with that Mac 10 falls on back. Gabby brought down low, and okay, 9 Pandas realizing, let's not muck around. Let's go to A.
Yeah, and to be honest, they should have done that way sooner. They were hanging around for a little bit too long, in my opinion. But this does also give over AKs and rifles to FURIA, who will definitely give this a go because they've got nothing to lose. They didn't invest a penny into this one.
Yeah, on some level, you kind of just want to save the 2 AKs, given the CT economy generally, but you brought it down to a 2-on-2. Probably a bit of info that Taddy was brought low. Great angle from Victoria, though. Very difficult to clear this. Gets that first kill. Gabby's spotted as she comes around the corner. Now you just don't need to give up these fights. Taddy's there to close, and we tie things up.
Yeah, good delay on the swing from Tati as well. Victoria then tucks in, and then they call a 3-2-1, swing in together. After the initial contact is taken down low, you've got the elevation changes in the afterburn. It locks it in, but that was a lot of economic damage, which is the theme for this second half.
Yeah, no, that's a success for FURIA, really. Is that AWP coming out for Car, what she was saving for earlier? We'll just see how 9 Pandas approach this. The first real gun round of this half.
And now what I'm looking for here is FURIA are probably going to play quite passive. They're not going to go for anything too outrageously aggressive because they haven't really got the utility to support them. So it's all about the timing of when they deploy it. You see a smoke has already been dropped from annaEX. They have 3 smokes remaining in this round. That has to last them the entire time. They can't get baited into dropping all their util.
Shu wants to get aggressive, does eat a HE because of it. 3 players dig their heels into the A-bomb site. Passive hold from Izza in towards middle, and Pandas are going to take this space with Fatal. But you can just leave her, though.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what they're going to do. Although saying that, the bomb's now making its way over towards A. Smoke, this one is well-timed out of Gabby. There's a lot of players that occupy A main.
Look at the rotations. FURIA are falling back passive on B. They know that mid's been given up, and that's where the space is. Car with the op, holding in towards camera. She finds Fatal. It's all one direction.
There's no flashbangs here for 9Pandas as well. It has to be contact. Look at this timing. Fatal's about to walk into Car.
Swing comes through, but Car misses. Not ready for Fatal on the right-hand side. Found the timing where she walked in. Gabby getting one, but can't get another. Taddy with a double. Gabs felled by Fatal. And annaEX, everything to do. Smoke lands in her face, and she cannot give it a look in.
I think that's actually just a virtue of fortune for 9Pandas Fearless. The fact they didn't have any flashbangs made them play contact. And you look at the way that FURIA was set up, where they were so passive, by playing contact and just taking the initiative early, it just works out.
Car dropped a piece of utility over in that 1 second where she dropped it over to, I think it was Gabby. That's when Fatal crossed camera.
It comes down to such fine margins. Where you aren't leading with utility, you aren't telegraphing or anticipating timings if you're FURIA. And that is a really costly round because, yet again, we've got one of these scenarios in which if you are kind of half a second earlier or later, you feel like Car's always going to hit that shot. Instead, she is caught right in the open, and that means there's too much pressure being applied to the main players.
There was still an opportunity, though, right? I know the swing comes from an unexpected side, but Car does fire off the shot, just doesn't quite hit. Needed to hit that flick. I think that's a completely different round because that was the only element of the split, right? Everything else was coming through main.
Just the lack of utility. It's the fact that they had to sacrifice something. And by not having the necessary smokes, by not having the flashbangs to go look in, it just means that 9 will have this space for free. And from there, they can take it anywhere. It doesn't matter if they commit into a bomb site with overly reinforced players. Because as long as you just move together, you know it's the right thing. I didn't even realize they quite lined up there as well.
Well, it's because Car falls, right?
Yeah.
Gabby has to draw her attention over to Fatal, and that's the perfect time for the swing. You know the M4 is in the hands of annaEX, the B player. Don't be surprised if 9Pandas put the pressure over onto A again, and, well, shoot. They run straight into her. annaEX gets her 1 kill. And there's your final player.
I like this from Fatal. I like how aggressive she's been in towards mid because this is still setting conditioning this entire time. And in the next gun round, it would not surprise me if FURIA play with 2 players in towards mid to try and counter this out of 9Pandas. And this would be the perfect round where you just go, you add pace and you go for an execute somewhere.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was like mentioning Fatal just being the difference maker in this team. A lot of the space she takes in towards mid, even what she was doing on the CT side in mid, you know, we saw, I think it was a crucial round where she peeked in through window and found a kill. So many moments where she's just great at capitalizing the position she's been set up in.
And here you go. I mean, you've got 3 players that are committing quite early. The bomb's making its way over, and here are these double ups in towards middle. It leaves A vulnerable.
Just Gabby. Izza might come over now that they're poking through and Car's not seeing anything. Gabby does have a lot of utility, right? So if she just doesn't fall, she can drop the incendiary, fall back, has a smoke, the rotation can come through. Here comes the utility though, over the top, and they're ahead. Oh, Gabby needs to fall on back. She's able to get to safety, but Flames at her back. She stands tall for 1. Elizabeth fighting on through, and now the reinforcements arrive. Car in a forward position, but hits her shot. And now they can fall back. They've got a 4v3.
Fatal is, again, the feature piece of this by just tucking in towards the stairs, dealing with it. Because it looks like FURIA want to play this on a retake avenue. There goes the swing. Fatal finds her first, and by crossing over to A main, Gabs can't find her from mid.
And now it's a 3v3. You're smoked off. Gotta blow that one wide. Didn't quite go deep enough either. More utility coming on forward. They have to fight through the smoke. Forward smoke for their own to get that space. But now they're all coming through from this angle. Victoria, great shot. Edge of the smoke, finds her target. And Taddy still tucked in behind the cake. Fatal as well. There's just no way into this for FURIA.
Yeah, but good enough for FURIA to recognize that and to get out of there. Because you're still leaving yourself a little bit of a cushion. You're going into this round with something, right? These rounds are becoming so close. So it's important to have the AWP. It's important to have the rifle. Give yourself something to work with. But that is really well executed by 9Pandas.
Yeah, I think one of the issues I had there with FURIA, yes, they go back to where Fatal is, and she does great in that position, finding that kill, but everyone was mid-focused. We didn't see anyone kind of rotate through CT, right, to fight through Heaven. Everyone's just pushing through the camera smoke at the end there.
Yeah, and it's kind of a conversation piece of, well, we've lost the timing initially, you want to go for the retake. By that point, you've got to commit somewhere, so if you just send bodies forward, it gives you the best opportunity to try and find those trades. But by throwing the smoke down, I don't think it dribbled kind of more shallow. You're still presenting one-on-one fights for Victoria on the AWP.
Yeah, Victoria's having a great game as well. Kind of calling her as a little bit inconsistent at times. That can often disappear in important games, but she's been hitting every shot, been very crucial part of this effort from 9Pandas. That's a great one from her as well. And Carr did great that round as well, right? The kill she finds in the smoke, falling back, but unfortunately it's the follow-up after that was a little bit lacking.
And now 9Pandas will go back towards middle. And they will just take the space yet again. This is very good game management from 9Pandas.
Yeah, they took the pause, right, to go over. Kind of how can we now close this out? We're in this great position. Mentioned the coach change, the impact that can have, but Carr getting aggressive. Victoria, always ready.
That's pure contact as well. There's no utility to set up Carr on the play. She just goes in dry. And now FURIA, look at the reaction. You sit passive on B, you tunnel yourselves in towards dark, you start to push out A main, but someone is holding.
Gabs not spotting anything. Bashu, ready for the push out A main. In from Rugs is the falls. The bomb's still in T-Spawn, but it doesn't matter. FURIA are bringing the kills to them. Bashu maybe about to be delivered. Another nice flick down onto annaEX. Not a favored fight for her.
Yeah, the structure is really good from 9Pandas. However, Gabby is still here in A main. Oh, but 9Pandas go check in. And now this creates a safe pathway for the bomb to be escorted over. Gabs just has to sit back and relax and save because this is a 1 versus 5. She's not winning. This is 9Pandas fearless up to map point.
Yeah, what a complete lockout on this T side. They came in on the back foot. The pistol round goes the way of FURIA as well, right? Yeah. You're sitting at 8-5 at that point. That force back in completely crumpled their economy. But even now, they've had the guns out in, what, 3 or 4 consecutive rounds. It feels like not getting anything done with it.
No, the conditioning's been brilliant out of 9Pandas. Fearless, also FURIA. It's been a lack of looking for information in the early stages. The fight for control is happening a lot of times towards the middle portions of the round. But by that point, 9Pandas Fearless have already gathered all of the space that they could have wanted. So you're always fighting back from a deficit.
Gabs, not able to survive. Victoria making sure that orb doesn't come over.
And that's a very important point as well. The fact that they are committing all of these bodies into just minimizing the effectiveness of this buy for FURIA. The fact they lose the orb is huge.
This round in particular, right? When you're about to potentially send FURIA down into an elimination game. FURIA, who when we look at this group, I think many were saying were kind of, you know, the second favorite behind Na'Vi, right? But stacked. As all these groups are, it feels.
Yeah, their money as well. After this pause, you'll see that they can't afford a sniper, I don't think. So it's just going to be pure rifles. The utility is going to come at a little bit of a compromising cost as well. I can't believe that's a contact push. That feels really just desperate at that point.
Yeah, I wonder if FURIA got any of those, you know, aggressive A pushes, you know, when you throw the deep smoke, one into Rugs, one into towards stairs, and you try and get that control early. I'd like to see something different from them. We've
also seen FURIA that they're more than happy to sometimes drop the smoke that lands where Victoria is at the moment, and they can push in towards dark. They did that a lot, actually against 9Pandas Fearless last time out.
Although I will say, I guess now you're up against Theory's point. You probably don't want to be making a play like that for the risk, and I think that's maybe going to put them into these kind of more passive holds.
Yeah, look at this now as well. You've got utility that lands over. You want Tati to be this lurk element. If Tati finds a kill here, that is everything, because it sells the idea further, and she can then be a distraction for Elizabeth walking through the waters.
The utility goes on forward, and that distraction coming through, but Anna spots Elizabeth's head, poking on in, and gabs, locks down the follow-up. Kill, fatal, only good for one on the mid lurk. Finally, FURIA finding success. 9 Pandas trying to pounce everywhere on the map at once, trying to sow that chaos. FURIA standing tall. 2 versus 4, fighting on into A. The Flames do push Gabby back, but she has friends, she has support. FURIA wants to get active, wants to peek around the side of this pillar. But you can see Gabs is ready for the heaven swing, but she was holding for it, but can't get a multi-frag.
Yeah, that round from 9 Pandas Fearless is just basically, we feel so confident we can take this fight anywhere. Everyone can get a kill whenever they want, wherever we desire. So you just kind of play that one a little bit loose. Now you're going to see a lot more rigid structure. 9 Pandas Fearless, they'll regress back into their ways, and we'll probably see a lot more discipline out of them.
7 rounds in a row for 9 Pandas Fearless. Finally put to stop, but because of that, every single round 9 Pandas are going to have a full buy. This is not easy for FURIA at all.
No, long road back. And I do still want to see risks being taken. I want to see early fights being met with pressure from the side of FURIA. It looks like Carl wanted to be invested towards mid, but the nade pushes her back.
Still sticking around, but 9 Pandas are just throwing neutral. There's actually nothing behind it right now. They'll start to edge on forward. 3 blades, you can just see they're waiting.
Not sure if I like this from Gabby, because she's always been kind of just in this choke point of A main. That's a great find from Carr, and now I want to see Gabby just fall back into the site.
Victoria hit the leg then as well, which is crazy. Gabby gets further forward into A main. They're going to go for this setup here, and that's leaving mid kind of open. They're just hoping that smoke's respected.
Yeah, and you can see that Face was just applying pressure because she's trying to see, okay, well, you have mid, and now you're giving it over. Are you going to come back and fight this? Are you going to come and take this space away? Which gives over indications 9 Pandas Fearless. Well, they probably pushed into A main together as a unit, so let's reset and fight B.
Go straight through main, and it's a very passive setup. Oh, actually, the change up, the swing at the perfect time as well. annaEX, 2 great headshots, can't quite convert the spray. She might have just done enough. Fatal's on this lurk through, and she could still unravel things, but the thing is, it's a passive CT setup. Is this accounting for it as well? She can come through Temple. Reinforcements are there. Gabby in towards Dark.
Biggest issue here is getting the bomb over as well, right? Shu's low HP, 1 bullet away from death. You mentioned the player in Dark. It feels impossible to get the bomb to commit into the site, because as soon as the audio cue is heard, well, doesn't even be needed. Gabs finds the first. Fatal will trade onto Dark, but that's the round over.
Yeah, I did love that FURIA just didn't overextend there. Once they had the advantages, because they knew that bomb was down as well, they knew Shu was low, they could just sit back, cover all the angles, make sure you can't get crept up on, and it closes out easily.
I'll tell you what, though, it's a wild swing from them just to double up contact on towards B main. It's the most unpredictable thing in the world, but yet again, it kind of falls back into that conversation piece of FURIA sometimes do need to go for these risks. They need to catch 9 Pandas Fearless off guard, and that's exactly what they did.
Well, consecutive rounds, and I was saying about the money. FURIA, if they win this, 9 Pandas won't have the best buy going to the last round. It's gonna be decent, but might not have everything they want. Another overtime, maybe?
I think this is going to be faster. Look already the space being taken by 9 Pandas Fearless here. They're going to flash in towards Dark. This Org overwhelmed, potentially. annaEX gets out alive, and she can now adjust on the angle, but it's Elizabeth to take first blood. Gab's now stuck on the bomb site and overwhelmed. 9 Pandas Fearless, they turn up the heat.
That's beautiful. That flashbang was so good. annaEX was in a prime position to completely disrupt that cave split. Now, 3v5, you have to go for it. Victoria's covering one angle. Car has to fight out Temple with an AWP. Still worried about a flank that's not coming as well.
So hard with one flashbang. Elizabeth will deliver the first kill, but now FURIA, their time is running out. Gabby delivers and, in fact, gets the second. Car as well on the sniper. All comes down to this. 1 versus 2. Smoke goes forward. No kit. Has to commit, but it's Fatal that locks it in. It's 9 Pandas Fearless, and they get their revenge over FURIA.
Yeah, FURIA started to get rolling on that CT side towards the end. They started to show what got them into that position on the T side, this new structured approach to the game. But 9 Pandas, that was just such a strong run on that T side that they just were in a perfect position to close.
Really impressed with the conditioning being set there on that T side.